Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for November 22nd, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read about them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It's a huge help because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, let's get into it, starting off with some deals of the day because there's been a lot of news today, but let's start with some deals. Amazon's Firetv Edition Smart TVs from both Insignia and Toshiba are on sale, with the 50-inch versions being at an all-time low price. If you're looking for a crazy good deal on a Firetv Edition Smart TV, these are smart TVs with a Fire TV built in, including the Toshiba 4K Dolby Vision HDR edition. Check out the show notes down below there for a link. These are the lowest prices, according to the tracker I use, that they've ever been on Amazon.com. Also, Fubo is offering a $10 credit off the first month of your service if you sign up right now for a limited time. They seem to be targeting PlayStation Vue subscribers. Fubo TV has a whole page now where they can play Fubo to PlayStation Vue, and they break everything out there. But if you want to use it, there is a special link you have to use. I'll put a link to it down in the show notes down below to our site with all the information you need to know to claim $10 off your first month. Typically $54.99, you get it for $44.99. So if you've been thinking about trying out Fubo TV, you want to give it a try for a month, this is a pretty good deal. Link in the show notes. They help support cordcuttersnews.com. So let's get into the news of the day. Let's start off with AT&T TV Now. It has lost now 37% of its customers in just 12 months. In total, over the last year, AT&T TV Now has lost over 713,000 subscribers. That is astronomical, especially when you consider the fact that their competitors, Sling TV, Hulu, YouTube TV, and more, are growing in subscribers. To see AT&T TV Now lose subscribers is quite shocking, especially at the rate they're losing them. Now, I actually think this is part of AT&T's plan. I actually think AT&T is perfectly fine with you canceling AT&T TV Now. AT&T made it very clear that AT&T TV Now is not the future of the company. They're no longer making it their main focus. One of their head of that department said that over the summer that AT&T TV, which is a different service from AT&T TV Now, even though the names are confusing, and HBO Max are now the main focus of AT&T. And that's where they want people to go. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on this, that AT&T TV Now's future is a little bit up in the air. Now, AT&T has been very clear that we don't intend to shut it down, but they're definitely not putting a lot of effort into it. I'm very interested to see what the subscriber losses look like for the for this quarter, because they just raised the price $15 for the Plus and Max packages, $10 a month for the grandfather packages out there. So AT&T TV Now starts at $65 for their base starter plan, the most expensive live TV streaming service on the market right now when you look at their base starting package. So I'd love to know, did you cancel AT&T TV Now? Why? Did you go to another service, or did you just say, hey, live TV is not for me anymore, I'm going to go on demand only? It'll be interesting. Now, AT&T has said that not at launch, but in 2021, AT&T will start bringing live TV over to HBO Max. This lines up very well with a CNBC story that apparently the CEO of AT&T said at some point that what's now AT&T TV Now will eventually merge into HBO Max, so you have one app, one user interface with both on-demand HBO content and live TV content in it. So we'll keep a close eye on this, and let me know, did you cancel, or are you planning to cancel because of the price hike? It's now in effect. Your next bill after this date, your next one will have the new price hike if you're an AT&T TV Now customer. All right, is cord cutting slowing down? The CEO of Spectrum sure thinks it is. Take this with a grain of salt, though, because Spectrum CEO and Spectrum as a company has always said, yeah, cord cutting is kind of a fad. Cord cutting is not going to be a big issue. Cord cutting's They're very dismissive of cord cutting, is the only way I could describe it whenever I see them speak. And this interview with CNBC kind of supports that. When asked about the growth of cord cutting, the CEO of Spectrum, or Charter, parent company of Spectrum, said, I think it's aggregate, they're going to slow down. Most single families have big TVs that want to watch the content, and he goes on to talk about how, if you want to watch big TV, you're going to want cable because of the quality and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of the gist I took from what he said. But his idea is that they're going to slow down as cable and all these competitors launch out there. I think this is a little less likely than he may think. Yeah, Hulu raised their price, AT&T TV now raised their price, but Spectrum has raised their price 3 times in 12 months from their previous price hike. So just because cord cutting is going up price doesn't mean cable is. And that was a big thing a lot of people asked me. Well, will cord cutting catch up to cable in price? For that to happen at the current rate of cord cutting's price hikes, it would take 6 years if cable would stop raising its price. So if cable went out there and just said, nope, we're not going to raise our price anymore, it would still take about 6 years for that price to match up. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, but I'd love to know what you think. Do you think cord cutting is slowing down? I tell you, I'm not seeing it. Now, I will say this though. There were people who predicted cord cutting would be a lot larger. You've probably heard me talk about in the past, with the very strong economy in a lot of areas, there isn't quite the rush or the need for cord cutting. It's a lot more about a decision that I just don't find value in cable than, hey, I lost my job, I need to cut the cord. If there was ever a recession again, in any time soon, I think you would see cord cutting just fly with the growth of all the issues out there, and with if we would see a lot of people lose their jobs, yeah, cable would probably be one of the biggest losers in another recession because of cord cutting being an option. If I lost my job, that $100, $200 bill for cable TV doesn't seem too attractive when I could maybe just go down to a Hulu with live TV, a Friendly, a Netflix, and more. But if the economy stays strong, there may not be that huge, like, hey, I desperately need to save money right now, push. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. I want to know from you what you think. Do you think cord cutting is going to slow down? Do you think it's going to speed up? And I think a lot of that, again, is kind of out of our control. It's out of his control. I think some of that depends on the economy to a point. Strong economy, people may not care as much about what they're paying for. Weak economy, recession, people are going to care a lot, and I think cord cutting will grow exponentially. So keep that in mind. All right, Get TV is coming to Fubo TV in December. So Get TV has announced on December 4th that Fubo TV will be adding Get TV. It's owned by Sony. Sony still is in the TV business, and it includes a ton of classic content, some content owned by Sony, some content they license from other places, like Walker Texas Ranger is on it, and more. So check it out. Get TV has a growing collection of holiday episodes too, so they will be running holiday programming all December, just in time. Good news there. Hopefully this means that Fubo TV will be adding more and more of these so-called sub-channels. Yes, Get TV is free over there in many markets with an antenna, but not everywhere. I live in one of the areas there they are not, even though I get 40-some channels with my antenna. But if you're a Fubo TV subscriber, it will be added to your base package December 4th. Subject to change, technical things happen, but that's the date that Get TV has announced. Be interesting to see if maybe some more Sony added content goes to Fubo. We'll keep a close eye on that, but this could be, now that PlayStation Vue is shutting down, this could be Sony opening up maybe the walls around some of their content that they've kept for themselves, and maybe we'll see Get TV appear on some other live TV streaming services. Hopefully though, we'll see some like MeTVs and others, which also have been hard to get streaming online, become more cord cutting friendly. I know they're free over there, but it'd be great to see them streaming on Pluto, streaming in their own app, or even in a paid service like Fubo TV. All right, moving forward, PlayStation Vue has removed its warning about the Hallmark channels leaving. So this month, Sony had to renew its contract with Crown Media, the parent company of PlayStation Vue. Unfortunately, to keep the content on PlayStation Vue. Unfortunately, PlayStation Vue is shutting down in January. and many had wondered if Sony would bother to renew it or if Crown Media would bother to renew the contract for a couple of months. But it seems like some type of deal has been reached because Sony has removed its warning about PlayStation Vue losing the Hallmark channel this month if a new deal hasn't been reached. Very likely that maybe Hallmark just said, hey, we'll extend the current contract for 2 more months basically. I don't know exactly when the end date was this month. But we'll just extend it for a few months and you can keep it until the service shuts down. But good news for PlayStation Vue owners, it seems that you may hold on to your channels for now. There is a real possibility though that you could lose additional channels between now and the closing of PlayStation Vue. But as of now, Sony is no longer warning of any possible blackouts of any channels on PlayStation Vue leading up to the closure of the service at the end of January 2020. All right, next story up, I should say, is the Tivo Mini. Now, Tivo has always had this Tivo Mini device, which would allow you to connect your DVR to other TVs in the house and stream your Tivo content to other DVRs. The problem has been it needed to be hardwired. There was no wireless adapter. Well, Tivo has finally rolled out a Wi-Fi USB adapter for $59.99 that you can plug into your Tivo Mini. So if you want to be able to watch your TiVo recordings in your bedroom or in a family room or wherever, you can now do that wirelessly without worrying about Ethernet for your Tivo Mini box. So good news here, Tivo Mini Wi-Fi adapter, $59.99, not the cheapest price in the world, but finally for people who love Tivo, you have a wireless option for the Tivo Mini so you can take your content to more places in your house without having to have multiple DVRs. And now, next up, real quick, a little story. We got a lot of questions about can YouTube TV be a good replacement for PlayStation Vue? With PlayStation Vue shutting down soon, Jeff sat down and really broke it down. What services or channels does each service have? What are some of the devices available for each one and more? So she really sat down and broke out like, hey, if you're thinking about getting YouTube TV instead of PlayStation Vue, here's what you need to know. And you can find that post down in the comments down below. But I'd love to know, are you a PlayStation Vue subscriber? Where do you plan to go? What are you planning to switch to, or what are you planning to use once PlayStation Vue shuts down? Are you even going to wait until the end of January for when it shuts down? Or are you going to jump ship early? So leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you've been thinking about it, check out the post down in the show notes because Jess did a really good job on that. And I think it'll be very helpful for a lot of people. Well, that's it for today. I know it's Friday. We'll have our Saturday episode tomorrow like normal. But it's Thanksgiving week next week in the United States. And I know a lot of people head out. And it's always kind of a slow week a little bit. Maybe there'll be news. Maybe they're not. It's always kind of a different each year, where sometimes there's a lot of news, sometimes there's not. But I'll be here all next week, with the exception of Thanksgiving Day, covering the best Black Friday deals, covering the news you need to know, and keeping you informed. If you're going to be gone next week, I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. We'll be right back here when you're done with your vacation. But I hope no matter what you may be up to next week, that you're safe, happy, and saving some money from cable TV, hopefully. So take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for our weekly recap, and I'll be back here next week.